Life is like jazz. Much of it is improvised. We cannot control all the variables. We must live it with panache and flair, regardless of what it throws at us. Haemin Sunim, the things you can see only when you slow down. I've recently begun exploring spirituality, Buddhism, and meditation, and it has really helped me stay calm in this very busy and interesting time, to say the least. I won't lie, these past few weeks have been more than tragic, with everything going on around the world, in our communities, and in ourselves. And it's become harder and harder to focus on the things that truly matter. And yet, here we are, still living, one day at a time. And I have to remind myself every morning when I wake up that there is a purpose. We are here for a reason. I can do it. I repeat these words in my head over and over again until I feel like I can somewhat believe them to be true. Last week was spring break, and my friends and I decided to rent a cabin upstate in the Catskill Mountains and relax there for a few days. It was very, very cold and rainy, but it was a great time to stay inside and reflect a little on what it is that I've been aiming to do this semester. It's crazy to think that we're already halfway through spring semester. I mean, this whole year has flown by so fast because of COVID and everything that's happening around us. It just seems like life never really slows down anymore. I find myself doing yoga and practicing meditation and mindfulness more and more each day. I like to start my day off with a quick workout followed by a short meditation that helps me prepare for the day, and it gets my head in the right space for me to work or do whatever it is that I have to do that day. Simone de Beauvoir says that we are both the object and the subject of our life. We must always remember that we exist within this duality of objectivity and subjectivity, which lets us strive for the creation of meaning and moral questioning. And yet, I feel as though these two are also one in me. My body and my soul are interconnected in a complex way that we still don't understand, but you can feel it, the power of existence, when you're meditating. It's deep within all of us. Earlier this month, I went to get a diagnosis for OCD. I've lived almost all my life with depression and anxiety, but I never really considered myself to have OCD until I came across a page listing symptoms, and as I went down the list, I started relating to a lot of them, which was quite scary at the beginning. I made an appointment and I called the clinician, and after the interview they asked me if I had any questions, and the one question I had was, why am I so worried about whether or not I have OCD? And apparently, that's also a sign of OCD. Ironic, right? My final diagnosis came up as subclinical OCD, which means I present some symptoms, but not all, to confirm whether or not I have OCD. And so now I am sort of back where I started, with a bit more knowledge on who I am and what my brain is doing. But I don't think these labels for mental illnesses are even that helpful because they manifest in such different ways for different people, and the way to cure them is always so different from person to person that honestly all of these could be classified just as neurodivergence or neuroatypical. People often ask me how I've been able to do so much at such a young age, and I never really know how to answer that question because all I do is take it one day at a time and see where things go. I love surrounding myself with beauty, art, nature, my friends, people who support me and believe in me, and I see so much potential in the world around me that I want to share it and express it with other people. I think that's what I want to make my art about. The experiences in my life and the story that I want to tell. Spring is such a beautiful time because it's when the flowers start to bloom and you see the last signs of winter melting away. When we were up in the Catskill Mountains, spring was just beginning to blossom. You could see the buds on the trees, the lake slowly melting, and the sun shining bright on the plants that were growing from their very long hibernation during the winter. I found solace in this place, in the trees, in the lake, and the birds chirping. It's so beautiful. The world we live in is so beautiful, yet we never really take time to appreciate it and just notice what is going on around us. It's hard living in a city like New York where everything is happening all the time. I often feel overwhelmed by the people, the noise, the traffic, the movement, everything. And when I get out of the city, it feels like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I can breathe fresh air again. I can see animals and trees and hear the birds calling, hear silence, hear the lake. And it's something that I really do miss when I'm living in New York City, because you can't get that. And when you realize what you've been missing, you also learn to appreciate it more. I want to appreciate every little thing that comes into my life, because everything is beautiful.
Don't go changing, try and please me. It never been done before. Don't imagine you're too familiar. I don't see you anymore. Would not leave you in times of trouble. home someone that I knew. Oh, what will they say till you believe in me? The way that I believe in you. I said I love you, and that's forever. This I promise from the heart. Oh, I just want someone that I could talk to. I want you just like you are. Richie Canada, everyone.
How's she doing? Come on.
Don't want clever conversations. Never want to work that hard. Oh, I just want someone that I could talk to. I want you just where you
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.